there are weeks in golf when scores matter, and then there are weeks in golf where stories matter. And this week, without a doubt, was the latter. Um, Welcome to God Bless Golf, by the way. This is Chip Brook. Over to my left is Richie Spice, and we're certainly excited about everything this show is becoming and where it's going. But what we saw in Australia really hit home, especially to me. And then anybody that's been lifelong friends of mine, like Richie Spice, I'm sure it hit him in the same way, as he is also a father with a daughter. But
Absolutely.
People like, and I don't want to say people like Anthony Kim, what Anthony Kim went through, 999 out of every 1,000 people that go through what he goes through has some sort of happy ending. It's shockingly sad. Everybody has been through it in some way. Some have dealt with it personally. Some have beat it. Mother, father, brother, wife, son, just best friend, you name it.
We all know somebody.
It's the worst thing that you've ever seen. And, the people that are fighting the addiction are the ones that are affected by it. The ones with the addiction aren't really fighting anything. They're kind of embracing it, let's be honest. But the fact that not only did he make it out of where he was, but he just beat two of the best golfers in the world. I don't, whether you agree or not, and shoots a 63 with a 30 on his final 9 to win a tour event, a professional golf tournament. And I didn't know how else to start this show other than let's talk about Anthony Kim. And Richie, right away, what does this return from a cultural standpoint? Not only is from a competitiveness, but I mean, you're talking about a guy, almost a mythological, guy. Like, where's he been?
Right.
This disappearing golfer, all this talk, the Anthony Kim watch, I mean, I remember, I don't know how many years it's been, but even before, when the rumblings were happening, is he coming back? Is he not coming back? Anybody that likes golf that's old enough loves Anthony Kim. And I tell you, the perspective that you have when you watch something like that, and I'm not here to get into the live PGA Tour stuff. I said from the very beginning, we love golf, we love live, we love the PGA Tour, we love these golfers, and we know how hard it is to play golf well. And what he accomplished is absolutely amazing. So we had to start right with it. And Richie, I want to hear your thoughts.
We've all kind of seen our own picture of what outside of golf this is all about, right? You certainly have some stories, and I think we all do, to your point. It's truly just, I think you got to look at everything here, the organicness of it, the ability to come back from anything, right? If you don't quit, you can never lose. And I love that he keeps saying something along those lines, because it's true. If you don't quit, you never lose, right? And so if you keep trying to get better, 1% better is kind of his slogan every day, which I, wholeheartedly believe. If you just try to get a little bit better every day, then, things can progress. And to your point, it's been about a 2-year deal for him. I think his first live event, correct me if I'm wrong, was Live 24. I can't remember the venue, but I remember the shank.
That one.
Yeah, no, he shanked one. Yeah, I shanked a sandwich from the rough, shot 77 or something. We were like, what is this guy? What is this going to be? We thought it was a dog and pony show a little bit. Well, talk about being 1% better every day, talking about keeping your priorities right in life, focusing on family and everything like that. This is where it can lead you. So it's truly an amazing week for this person. There's so much that I love about his enthusiasm coming down the back nine, the feelings it gave me going back to Valhalla, beating Sergio, right? So
yes.
it's all the feels. That's what you want from this game, right? And we got it this weekend from him. And I think gravitas was way bigger than anything we've seen in the last couple of years in golf, in my opinion.
Yeah, man, it was just I'll be the last person to tell you that I follow Live religiously. We've talked about it on the show. I mean, it can be tough to watch, but when you look at where they were playing in Australia, I mean, that looked like the ultimate vibe.
Oh, dude.
Hundreds of thousands of people. And then really the most important thing is we get spoiled here in the United States about the whole golf thing. Like people in Australia, the fact that Liv is there, I mean, they are stoked for that. And what a way to just what a show. And then to have a guy like Anthony Kim, again, this like mythological, iconic guy. And
he is a myth, isn't he? I mean, he basically disappeared and now he's back like a wizard.
And I've told this story a lot. I mean, I lived in Palm Desert, California when Anthony Kim was in high school. And I
that's
was
right. Is he a Palm Desert guy?
Yeah, he actually went to La Quinta High.
I didn't know
I don't know y'all's mascots, or I'd shout you out, but La Quinta High School, shout out. But anyway, I was at a place, used to practice at a place called Desert Willow, and there was a bunch of Ledbetter guys that taught there, and Anthony Kim was one of those guys. It's funny enough, Brendel Chambly was actually used to hit balls out there, Gamez, a few other guys, but Mike Weir at the time was working with a guy there, and he was song. But I mean, Anthony Kim, the stories everybody knew about him, and went to Oklahoma and came out and was kind of like Tiger light, right?
Yeah, he wasn't Boomer Sooner, baby. He wasn't Tiger, but he was like.
He was Tiger-ish in a lot of ways, but where he differed from Tiger is the degeneracy and destructiveness. He didn't really care if anybody knew. Tiger, it took some National Enquirer stuff before we figured out about Tiger, right? Tiger had about 10 or 11 year run of
pre-social media as well.
Yep. Well, yeah. But anyway,
yeah.
But Kim was that kind of cat. I mean, you can hear Paul Azinger, I'm sure, would tell stories all day about like this. He just loved this guy. I mean, this is the guy you want playing with on your team. Probably not a guy you want to play against when he's fully motivated. And obviously that goes into where his life maybe went off. Maybe the passion bucket wasn't quite it. Well, certainly didn't match the talent. But anyway, I mean, that was just, he was that guy. And I know Rory is great, and Justin Rose and all these guys were young coming up, but Anthony Kim kind of had that brashness. He was had Asian descent, so he was a Nike guy. The swing,
big belt buckles.
Yeah, just in your face. Your face. And
I mean, he called Tiger. He goes, "Hey, T-Dub."
Yeah. I mean, he called. I remember. This is funny. We were at where was it? PGA West, playing out there, and Anthony Kim, I think, was a member out there, and I was with some guy. He knew Anthony, and Anthony drove by, and he was like, "What's up, pimp?" And he was like 16. I was like, that kid just call us, like, say, "What's up, pimp?" Like, he was straight up, thought he was Lil Wayne or something. But to be
you saw that come back a little bit too, that attitude that this week, which he, good for him, he kept it humble until he got to wherever he did. But he said it, he goes, all these emotions that I needed to let out, he let them all out with every fist pump.
Well, I mean, it's not like it leaves, okay? I mean, it can leave, the swing can leave you, but that desire, especially with his life and where he's at, I mean, it's totally gone full sobriety, thrown his entire life in the hands of the Lord and said, do what you can, because the other thing wasn't working. And again, as we say, we are not going to preach a lot on this show, but I can tell you this, it is hard to OD on Jesus. Okay. So there's a lot of worse things you could be addicted to, and certainly that is not going to kill you. It might drive people crazy,
right?
But it will not kill you. But what it goes into, we were talking about this before, like this mythological, this fella that he was, it's like everyone has this need or want to hide, right? And whether it's
absolutely
right. I mean, it's like this, you're hiding. Okay. You want to hide from wherever your problems are. And we can do a good job of avoiding maybe certain things that we're not ready to deal with. But it's, the one thing that they always say, it's like, you can't run from what's up here. And you can hide out from all this stuff, but you're still looking yourself in the mirror and you know what you're doing.
Right.
Um,
And you have to take responsibility for what you're doing, no matter what you're living out in the public eye, because we know when you're alone is when those thoughts are the most intrusive.
Correct, and the humility has to grow, and
Mhm.
being humble is something that the great ones,
Still working on that.
we all are. But the humility is sometimes delivered in a very painful way. And I think sometimes when you think you're invincible, finding out you're not is also very painful. And, I don't know the full story, or actually, I don't know any part of the story to be truthful, but I think we can all connect some dots. I've been around a little bit and I've seen some things, and I mean, you kind of wherever he was, it was a dark place, period. And he was able to crawl out of that and not only have some semblance of a life, a family, a daughter,
Yep.
and now he's a live champ. And who wouldn't want him playing at Bay Hill next week with Bryson and DJ? I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're getting closer to that. We're getting closer to it. And
if there was one thing that could have catapulted the connectivity of people, and I think this goes for not just golf or anything, I'm going to say this broadly, it's love. Right,
Yep.
whether it's a love of the game, it's a love and affection of a person. Like again, you said this mythological creature comes out of nowhere, and all of a sudden we believe in the good of what golf is again, right? And thank God for it, right? I mean, we need it. We need this uniting. This, first a couple of tidbits, people move, we got some whatever, but now this, because now everybody wants this guy back. There's no way that you're not sitting on the PGA Tour board, Augusta, or anywhere and going, AK is not for us. That's not true anymore. That's no way. If you're Augusta, you want him and his wife and his daughter walking around there this April shooting 65 because he can again. And by the way, record for number of birdies at Augusta, I believe, is 8K.
Yeah, I mean, dude, he's
not in a row, but
he's done some things. He's done
11
some
birdies.
And, one thing's for sure is I don't know how to say this because I don't want this to be a live versus PGA Tour thing, but
no,
there are a lot of people who feel as if when live started that they had to go this, am I on the right or am I on the left? And the people that have chosen to, and rightfully so for a lot of reasons, but just you can make fun of live all you want, but like the trashing of the live in this loyalty to the PGA Tour as if they like guys that don't even play golf, like they have to stick with this side, and you terrible people for going to play for Saudi Arabia. And I mean, look, if you know where your shoes come from, if you know where all of your clothes, and you're good with how those things are made and where they're coming from and what country and how they treat people in those countries,
right? Yeah,
we'd all be walking around naked or in some sort of robe. Like, I get that people don't like live golf, but to turn this into where it went, and I think what we're seeing now is a lot of people who maybe don't know as much as they think they know being forced to probably be like, oh, great story, Anthony Kim. Like, and that's fine. I mean, there's a lot of fake stuff out there. I know you probably will talk about this later, but I'm going to mention it. I heard, because I wasn't watching when it happened, Colt Nost, who guy seems cool as shit. I'd love to talk to him one day, gave a shout out, and then apparently nobody said anything. God forbid Jim Nance, because him and right, because him and Freddie and Dottie Pepper and all these people, it's just like, it's a joke, to be honest with you.
And I'm going to double down on that real quick. I'm not going to get into it now, but I'm going to double down on the fact that when humanity does something better than sport and you don't acknowledge it, that is a problem.
Yeah, I mean, this guy is surviving himself. I mean, who hasn't been there? We're all surviving ourselves, right?
Yep.
We're going to cheer louder for that than the guy that wins. I mean, great job. And we'll get into it. Morikawa. I mean, what a dog.
Yep.
We like talking about dogs on the show, dude. That guy's a dog. But like that's I don't know, man. It hit home, and you hear people talking about it. I'm sure everybody's circling the wagons. All these guys that have just been, sucking up to the PGA Tour because I don't know. Maybe they want to. I don't know. Maybe they want inside information. They're certainly not breaking anything. There's no news that's ever come out from any of these guys that love the PGA Tour so much and hate LIV so much. And these guys they're hell of a golfers. They're hella golfers, and we're big fans of the guys on LIV because they're cool guys. Like Cam Smith, like you tell me you wouldn't want to hang out with that cat. Mark Leishman.
Oh, dude, I would have paid money to be Cam's caddy this week at Adelaide. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. And they grew up carrying their bags as juniors and hitting balls so they could be rich playing golf, and they're rich now. And I mean, what's wrong with that? Like, I just don't know. Anyway, I don't want to get on this rant because I don't want to knock the PGA Tour, but I just find it funny that there are people out there who are so afraid to acknowledge LIV because they have some, I don't know, maybe they.
No, you're right.
Maybe they get tee times at Sawgrass, like preferential treatment or something, and that's worth it. And they're just like, hey, just don't ever say like LIV's cool.
Good on you. Glad you got the hook up.
Great. Way to go.
Yeah. Way to be biased.
But yeah, just again, I mean, the fans are cheering for people that do well, and if you're not rooting for Anthony Kim, I don't know what I got it. You're a sad person, and I don't know. Hit up the show. Maybe we can get you in a better mood.
Agreed.
So with that being said, to finish this LIV topic, give me the leaderboard 1st through 6th last week in Australia.
Aussie. So we'll start with T6, Dean Burmeister, right? Coming in with a nice little 7 under Sunday to get to 16 under. So
he was okay. That's good cash. It's good money.
Yeah.
It's good money.
Yep. You want to know what it was? I'll tell you right here.
Yeah, I'd love to know.
$650,000 paycheck that him and Lucas Herbert split for 16 under par.
Man.
The big wigs were right at the top coming down this stretch, right? Raman DeChambeau was supposed to be the Sunday special until old Bryson and shot the 2 over and it ended up with him, Hatton, and Uline at T3 for 1.1.
1.1 T3, Hatton, Bryce, 2 Ryder Cuppers,
and Mr. Titleist.
And Titleist
Mr. Acushnet, right? Is that
Acushnet? Good for him.
Yeah, I think.
Good for him actually being out there doing something.
I mean, listen, he's earning his keep. No doubt
well, I mean, at least he's not out beating my ass on mid-amateur golf tournaments.
That's true. And then Rahm cleared the field by 3 for second at 2.25.
And he was how many under total? 18?
20.
Wow.
So
what did he shoot final day? 1 under though, right?
Final round 1 under. You got it. It was just couldn't make a putt. Didn't hit it very close. Wasn't I watched almost all 11 holes coming in.
Yeah.
I feel grateful that I got to see the last 9 holes at 11:30 at night, whatever it was.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
Late. I was
but
watching.
It was almost like everybody was holding on at Adelaide. I mean, the team championship was way more being focused on the broadcast because it was 52 under, 51 under. And
that was a lot.
It was, dude. That is, I mean, think about that. 4 guys, 50 under.
And speaking of that, Richie, and because I don't mind pumping up the things about LIV that are cool, right? Like there's a lot of things that are relatable and cool. Like everybody's played in a shotgun once in their life, right? Everybody. Okay. Mm-hmm. So like how relatable is that? Like I know people want to knock LIV for that, but like I think it's kind of cool. Did they do it? I don't know if I would want to do it every week. Well, if I was a caddy, I'd love it. Like 10:30 every day, that would be epic. I like it for truthfully, like the Open Championship. Like how many years are at the Open Championship is the winner determined by the draw of their tee time?
Oh, the weather.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if there was an 8:30 gun, not that they would ever do this,
right,
and a 1:30 gun, I mean, so that part, I mean, granted they have too many people to do that. So that part about LIV, I actually do like, but the team aspect of it, I think that we are so used to, and I'm guilty of it too. Like I'm not jumping on here and telling you about all of the things that I'm doing and like that to follow and watch live. But the team aspect, if you've never really watched golf before and this is your first intro into it, you would think, oh, this is how it's always done. And if that's how you were wired to watch it, I'm sure it would be way more entertaining if that was your way of watching it. Like I have one of those streaming like Spectrum cable that's got like 9 million channels, and pretty much every minute of the day on channel like 9,849 there's cricket on. Okay.
Yeah, right. Yeah, especially in India.
Yeah, Sri Lanka
They
versus
love that
Australia.
sport. Yeah,
And I watch it. It's fascinating. I wonder.
Do you know how to score it?
No, so I don't know what I'm.
We need
watching.
some help with that.
Yeah,
Right,
I got a South African buddy who explained it one time, and it was like it would be like somebody explaining to me 4K versus 1080 IP. I don't know the difference, but the whole point is, I'm sitting there going, "Could I hit that ball? Like, I think I could hit that ball. Like, would I be good at cricket? Like, I have pretty good hand-eye coordination." But then it's like, but anyway, the whole point is, I'm watching. I don't even really know what I'm watching, but it's entertaining. Like if you're watching golf and it's live, that's gonna. If you've never watched golf, watching live would be 100 times more exciting than watching the PGA Tour. Especially,
I agree.
I mean, especially because they're so commercial heavy, and I just got to hear some of the nonsense that they chat about. But I appreciate Liv doing everything they can to say, hey, I know that there's 45 guys all putting at the same time, but this guy just made his fourth birdie in the row. Bam, bam, bam. So there's some
I'll
cool
tell you this
things.
too.
And I think sorry, I'll let you speak. One more. Last thing I want to say about Liv. If you watched it just to watch it, because you say, how many golf shots am I going to – are you watching golf to see golf shots? Because
that was my point.
Yep. How many do you see per hour? I'm sure there's a site versus what you're seeing on the PGA Tour, which again, these guys are great. Pebble's beautiful. It was a great tournament. It was really exciting, honestly. Thanks to Scotty, but like, I just and it's not like you're watching guys that don't. It's not like you're watching me and you swing. I mean, we swing it nicely, but it's not like these are guys that are like they've won majors. Like you're watching like some quality shit here. So
I got a number for you.
Go ahead.
Over under on shots per minute. Right? Over under.
For the tour or live?
For the tour. Shots per minute. I'm not even going to give you a baseline.
Don't even tell me. Don't give me over under. Let me just guess.
Take a wild one.
Shots per minute. I mean, it can't be more than 7. Can it?
You are going to be astounded by what I'm fixing to tell you. It is 1.46.
Are you shitting me? On the
Live
PGA
is almost
Tour.
Correct. And it's approximately 120 shots on live per hour to the 88 shots on golf on PGA Tour broadcasts.
88
That's a
shots
lot of
in an
shots.
Hour. And are you talking like an hour with commercials? Or are you talking about this straight hour streamed? I'm seeing 88 shots.
1 hour of coverage.
Man,
you're getting 88 shots.
That's nuts. That's
a lot different. That's 32 shots of difference. That's 32. And this is the other thing I'll say about this, and we say this all the time. And it's honestly a great angle from Pebble, because there were 9 guys almost that could have won the tournament with 5 or 6 holes to go, and we're just sitting here watching same fucking guy. Yep. And you're like, what is going like? And then all of a sudden, Brigman gets to 20 under. And then Sam Burns is 21 under out of nowhere. Like, I haven't seen Sam Burns hit a shot in 45 minutes. Where did he come from?
Correct. You know? I remember seeing
by the way,
Sam
he's
Burns 7
today. Like,
well, and we can kind of jump into the whole, because we had some funny group chats this weekend, as we always do, because we're a bunch of morons. But like I saw Sam Burns miss a putt, and I'm like, man, everybody talks about, and I love you, Sam Burns, but everybody talks about what a great putter Sam Burns is, but it seems like all I see him do is miss putts he has to make, and then all of a sudden he's 20 under, and then I get a text, Straka's getting sexy, and I'm like, what? He was 1 over, and all of a sudden he's at 20, and I'm thinking, I did not see. Maybe you did. I did not see Sepp Straka hit one shot before the 18th hole. Maybe on 17. You watched the whole thing. I got in some nice bourbon at a buddy's watching the game. New Era, by the way. Anyway,
I was gonna say shout out to which brand?
New Era Gator Claws, 146 proof. Night. Goodness.
Yeah.
Anyway, but we're on YouTube TV, and I'm like, where there's Olympic hockey on, I'm trying to kind of have all the thing, the 4 screens. But then I'm looking at my phone too. So to me, should I be watching a PGA Tour event and then have to have the PGA Tour app up with a leaderboard so I can see the other? I mean, I don't know what they're. Clearly, there's an agenda on how they do things.
Yep.
And whatever it may be, and everybody beats to that drum, and that's just how they do it. But, that's too bad. I need more.
Yeah. No, and especially when he's standing on the 18th tee, 19 under par, and you haven't seen him hit one golf shot all day, and you're like, oh, well, how he shot 4 under on Sunday, right? It wasn't the greatest round of the day, but like, and I think it was a run that was more, kind of a run that was more, he ends up losing by 1, and in the final round, he shoots 5 under in the last 5 holes to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And not one of those. The only thing they show is the tee shot on 18 that he stripes. He's like, oh, well, if Sepp hits it on in 2. It's like, dude, Mark Howell had to make birdie. I get it, but you were over there showing Minwoo Lee for 45 minutes, which I'm hot about that whole situation. This whole ruling, this whole Brigman thing. Like, guys, shot clock. Like, I mean, Minwoo Lee's in a bush trying to argue about how to take a drop, and the PGA Tour player guy's like, dude, you can't hit that. He's like, what do you mean I can't hit that? I'm like, it's in a bush, bro. Like, you cannot make a pass, standing on where you're supposed to be saying. Anyway, I don't have any problem with getting a ruling. I do have a problem with taking 45 minutes to figure out what you're going to do. Not that he did that. I think Brigman took a little long to make his decision, but that affects play. I mean, Saturday and Sunday, we sat there for almost an hour and a half waiting for 3 people to finish 18. That's not entertainment.
Well,
it's not entertainment.
The thing on 18, like, I mean, Morikawa was right. Like, you're not 20, you're not 20 plus under, and then on the 72nd hole, you're gonna just lose your shit, especially when you're a guy like Colin
with an iron,
who's an absolute dog. But I tell you, and I said this on the last show. I need to see the scrolling money list. I mean, Bridgman, and if anybody knows anything about caddies, all I could think about was his caddy has to. I mean, him making bogey. I know the caddy lost some dough, but when that ball chunked and hit the rock and went in the water, his looper was thinking, man, if he makes double bogey, I mean, I am going to lose money this week because it is expensive to stay in Monterey.
Would you like to know what Birdie would have made him?
I know Birdie would have made him $800,000 or more.
$877. So he cleared another $325.
Okay, so Birdie gets him 8, and he won 5 still,
and he won 515.
Okay.
In a tie for 8th. Akshay and Sam Burns were T6 with 690. So I mean, the amazing 6, by the way, too, Jacob. Hats off, Clemson.
Well,
guys,
that's
a great play. But getting to that point, I mean, and shout out to his caddy because he tried to tell him how stupid the play was from the beginning. So anyway, what can you do? Players don't listen.
No,
sorry,
they don't. And normally, here's the problem, and I can tell you. I like to hear, you can tell me from the caddy. Let me tell you the player side. Well, you know this because you play, but this is what I would be thinking. I would 100% think I could hit that shot, okay? And then the minute I chunked it and it went a foot in the water, I would be dog cussing myself saying, "What are you thinking? You can hit that shot?" And Richie, remember at Plainfield this year? It wasn't Plainfield. It was Echo Lake.
Yep.
I don't remember what hole it is. I'm in the right rough. The rough is so thick up in New Jersey.
It's wet.
And it's wet, and we're not playing. We're playing okay. It's in the stroke play, and we really, you know what? We were actually, truth be told, we were playing better than we thought. Just we were maybe thinking we needed to be kind of get going. Anyway, you were like, dude, you were basically showing me if you can just chip it over here. And in my head, I'm thinking, well, I can take this 6-iron and just hit like 130-yard, like lowest draw. And then I hit it and it went about 7 yards. And then I had to chip sideways. Okay?
Yeah. So I think that was 11.
Well, yeah. No.
Was it
no, because no, dude, it was 15 because we made double.
Oh, that's right.
Mark. Yeah. And then, yeah. But I remember our birdies have
still made it. Yeah, still made it.
Yes, we did.
This, by the way, Desert Mountain, see you in May.
You know, obviously we really never got into the whole Mark Dole played by himself and won a match thing. We'll eventually get in one of these episodes, but
yeah, for real.
For those that were giving me a hard time, I did play the last 3 holes of stroke play at Echo Park by myself, just so you know. 1 under. Anyway, you remember 8?
True. Anyway, I'll tell you this: if Brickman doesn't chunk that, if he chunks that shot and doesn't make 7, he loses $500,000.
$500,000, and that because then his caddy goes from 7% to 5 of.
Yeah. Thanks for playing.
Oh, my wife was like, Lauren was like, he's still going to make a lot of money. I'm like, babe, you have no idea. This caddy is like,
it's a $50,000 hole.
Was caddies in the fairway going like, I'm about to make $90,000 this week. Like, yeah, let's go. But hey, shout out Jax, Clemson, and he's going to be around for a while. So,
Brigman's going to be a stud.
Yeah, he's really good, but. You know, kind of goes into, I mean, Pebble, I'm assuming anybody listening to this show watched Pebble, and everything we kind of were hoping for. And we talked about last week, kind of like piggyback. I know we like to give the PGA Tour a hard time, from time to time, and maybe rightfully so, or maybe it's too much, but let's give them their flowers too. I mean, Waste Management.
Yeah, great Sunday.
Followed up by Pebble Beach. And, you know, there's a lot of guys out there like talk about like the dome golf situation like we had in the desert, and truthfully like that we had in San Diego, because Justin Rose was certainly playing in the dome compared to everybody else. But one thing about Pebble Beach is it certainly exposes your nerves more than others. At times I'm like, is this golf course this easy? Of course it isn't, folks. It is not. These guys are just
smallest screens on the PGA Tour per square foot.
Yeah, I mean, these guys
tells you something.
Yeah, these guys are just so good. And sometimes you're like, yeah, are they really that good? Yeah, it's absurd how good you have to be to not only hit these little greens, but to have the guts to putt on bumpy Poana that's fast. And just expect it to hit the back of the hole all day, which these guys do. I mean, I don't know what pro had the highest score. I'm sure a pro got destroyed this week, but win small greens and then emotional decision making. I mean, the thing about pressure and the thing about difficult golf courses, it can, force you into situations that you're not used to. Maybe forces you to think faster than you want, and you don't have to think fast, but your brain just starts moving fast. And, I heard Claude Harmon say one time, the best players in the world, when it's time to be aggressive, when it's time to be on offense, they play on offense. And when it's time to be on defense, it's on defense. And most amateurs, if not all amateurs, when it's time to be aggressive, we get conservative, and when it's time to be conservative, we get aggressive. Like you hit a terrible shot in the trees, and now all of a sudden you're trying to be Phil Mickelson versus, or you hit a perfect drive down the middle and you're like, well, I don't want to make a bogey. I just hit a good drive, and you hit some conservative shot 25 feet, whatever, and you make par and you walk away. But deep down, you're like, why was I afraid of that one? Yet when I have to hit some shot like under a tree, over a branch, draw, and then fade at the end and hope it lands in a spot this big,
miracle
you're like,
shot.
You're like, I got this. Give me
this.
4. Give it to me, right?
Those are my favorite moments, caddy in a resort. Oh, all right. I'll see you at the green. Just here you go, buddy. See you later.
Yeah, I mean, okay, that's fine.
Yep.
I mean,
good for you. And as a caddy, if you've ever stood there, all you can do is after about 2 seconds of saying, you shouldn't do this, go, all right, then here you go.
Yeah, there you go. Let me go get
Good
the
luck.
rake. Let me go get the rake because I know where this is going.
Right. Exactly.
Right?
No doubt. I mean, listen, we all get tight in certain situations, but when you add weather and other things to it, like, not to mention, I think when you get on a historic course, I think we certainly feel this way whenever we go play, the grounds that Bobby Jones has walked on, or, the hallowed places that are around the country. Like, it makes it hard. Who doesn't want to win at Pebble? Right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we talked about it before. Look, and I mean, for those that listened last week, look at the guys that have won at Pebble. And now Morikawa is on that list. And, there's a lot of just sweet guy, Colin Mark. I mean, I'm sure he is, right? Like, he comes off as just the nicest guy, and I'm sure he is. I don't know if you've ever met him.
Have not crossed paths with him.
But the inner, when it's time to just straight up dog up, he is nasty. And I still to this day will say the pairing of Dustin Johnson and Colin Morikawa in the 2021 Ryder Cup was if not the most dominant 2-ball I've ever seen. Those two, the way they were playing that year, was the most unfair twosome I've ever seen in my life. And you go back and watch them manhandle everybody they played, and it wasn't even fair. It was just
straights, right? Whistling straights.
Yeah. Whistling straights. I mean, it was as impressive as a two-man team in the history of the Ryder Cup, at least as long as I've been watching. And when he's going that way, he's as good as everybody out there. It's clear. And to think that, Colin, who has, in this day and age of major talk, I mean, he's got 2 already. Young guy, he was in college not that long ago. And
I mean, he's a COVID college guy. I mean,
yeah, he's got a baby on the way, or I think he might have had his baby today or tomorrow. I mean, guy's good dude. Certainly figured out something with his putter. I know he likes to change caddies a lot, but that probably has to do with he couldn't find a putter he likes. And so, I mean, it just, when you
that's kind of the way they go.
When you don't have a putter that works,
if your putter's not working, it's
you hate everybody. You hate everybody. Even though your caddy doesn't even read your putts, it's like, seeing this putter reminds me of this caddy, so just bring me some other bullshit caddy and putter this week. No, I mean, I'm not saying he's saying that, but like, I get it, and that he might be coming from that angle too, because you would probably know this better.
Well,
than
I'll
me,
tell you
Ricky.
one angle he is coming from. Is I got to go into a little health and fitness here. The old boy made a great comment, and I think I've heard you make this comment. I certainly understand this. He kind of went from little man to big man. He said he's like, everybody's like, oh, Colin, you look a little bit bigger. He goes, yeah, I put on 10 pounds of fat because I was turning through too quick or something, and straighten him up, right? And he did look a little chubbier face than some of the pictures he'd seen.
Yeah,
and
chubby guy.
I can tell you.
Club.
Yeah, listen, welcome to the Belly Club. It slows those hips down a little bit, straightens her out a little bit. Not so many white fades. So, you never know. A couple more beers after this win and a baby on the way. I mean, he settles in and gets another couple. He's, if not already, a Hall of Famer, because I'll tell you this. One of the most impressive performances in golf was, he won in 2020 at Harding Park, right? But 2021 at Royal St. George, that's the best golf I've ever seen.
To just kind of follow up on Pebble and everything we've been talking about, I mean, the course itself is kind of the main character, right? I mean, when you're talking about the AT&T Pro-Am and all this stuff, I mean, it's Pebble, right? Pebble. That's the main draw, right? It's not a venue, okay, in my opinion.
No. No,
Um,
no, no.
and I
No,
don't
that's
like
a
how.
cathedral, right?
Yeah, I don't.
That's a
Yeah, well,
cathedral.
I just don't. Venue for to me is like where you go see a concert. I think that the golf courses, the greatness of golf and the greatness of golf is the courses that we play, right? And they
Absolutely.
and the distinctive, what makes one this better than this, and obviously you watching with the technology and the drones, and let's be honest, the weather was just damn near perfect. I know it started to blow clearly, but I
I
think
mean, you're
they
on the
have.
Pacific. What do you
I
expect?
think they avoided. They were preparing for some real bad stuff, and I think they avoided it or got done before. Um,
Correct. That is correct.
and then kind of if it kind of goes to kind of was talking about Sam Burns the other day or earlier in the show about him, missing that putt, and it seems like he gets talked a lot about what a great putter is, and clearly he is. But sometimes your nerves are what makes you win versus your skill. And so it's like, is the best golfer the calmest guy in the room, or is he the most skilled guy in the room? Because
I think that goes along with what situation that person's surrounded by and
well,
what they're
that's
comfortable in.
that's what I'm saying. I mean, because
Yep.
we've talked about on this show, and all amateurs can relate to this, whether it's the first time if you've never broken 100, okay. Usually, if you've never broken 100, you're gonna break it by shooting like 91, right?
Right.
You're not gonna shoot 99. Now,
Yep.
when you're breaking 90 or especially breaking 80, like 79 is probably gonna be your first score. Hopefully, it's not, but like just like the first time you
Right.
shoot in the 60s, probably gonna be
Mhm.
not 69. But there's certain numbers that 80 high mark number. Well, those are pressure moments. If you're 7 over and you're in the middle of the 18th fairway, I mean, and especially if you're thinking about it, which you probably are you able to
Oh,
just,
absolutely.
even if it's just with your buddies? I mean, if you're beating your dad. I mean, I remember the first time I beat my dad, like for real. I felt I'd been better than him for a year and a half, but he would just beat me every time. Like he had this like Jedi stuff. Then once I beat him, I don't know if I ever lost to him again. But it was one of those things where you have to, and maybe that was something that kind of instilled in me, like how to figure that out. And, you know, the ability to be calm, especially as everything that Colin was watching on 18. I mean, he probably, I don't know, his caddy was probably like, boys, what are we doing up there? Right. But,
He put the club away 2 times, I know, and then walked over the ocean,
well,
did
because it
whatever
did
he
look like
could.
something was going to happen and then
Right.
didn't. But go ahead. What were you saying?
No, he walked over the ocean, tried to keep his pace. He made a joke about it to his caddy and just said, all right, well, where else we got to go, right? And he did a great job of staying in the moment, which is what you're
Right.
supposed to do.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing else you can do. I mean, you have no choice at that point. You are stuck.
Yeah.
We've been there certainly a number of times throughout the last couple decades playing golf, and it sucks. It sucks to be watching somebody get a ruling when you're on fire or when you're trying to win, because then that anxiety level and that time frame, that anxiousness of time goes up because
Yeah.
your body internal clock, you should have already hit his shot. I mean, he literally waited 19 minutes between shots and then swipes a 4-iron 1 foot off into the rough, pin high, and goes, well, 30 minutes later on live TV. So his humility in the situation was phenomenal, I thought.
Yeah, and I said this earlier in the show. I mean, he was 20 under in the fairway. I mean, he was dialed. So I think he could have sat there another. He was 21 under.
21 under. And it's a
Yeah,
4-iron that honestly, whatever
he could.
TaylorMade's new 4-iron is, that thing is long on the toe and fat and tall. So I'm sure that was just a nice, comfortable swing for him.
Yeah, I
Plenty of
mean, it
club.
is. Yeah,
Best
plenty of
iron player in the
club
world.
and a helping wind. I mean, a right to left wind into there, maybe not as
Right.
comfortable, but dead down left to right. And I mean, had some room.
Yeah.
And as long as he didn't double cross it, which I don't think he did all week. And even did it seem like he was on TV a lot?
Not really. I
No.
swear, like, and kudos to the chef. He's the best player in the world, and he was on fire. And
Yeah.
at
Well,
that
you got.
point,
I mean, he's must-watch TV. I'm not
he
hating
is
anybody for not,
absolutely
but I mean, there's a lot of pauses between when he hits a shot and
agreed. And once he got to 20, he was pretty much the coverage because nobody else was making a move to a significant point. At least it seemed to me. And then birdie, once guys realized the weather wasn't rolling in, they stopped playing safe. And it was like, all right, I got to make a couple here because Scotty's fixing to post 20 under. And going into I'm sure we're going to talk about the group chats here in a little bit this weekend. But I know our group chat was going nuts about, all right, what are the odds? What are they at? Who's in a betting state? Who's not in a betting state? Can we get money on the chef with about after going 6 through 6? And I think what's crazy is I think you told me it was 325 after he was 7 through 7 plus 325.
325. Then it got to as low as 270, but then Akshay, like then it was up to 900. And you're thinking plus 900. Yeah, it was going back and forth, but I do know for a fact that Colin Marikara and Minwoo was like plus 3,000 and Colin was like plus 2,100.
Looks like we might have lost the pain here. To stand by.
Can you hear me?
If we did, we will we'll certainly get right back to him. I'm sure he'll connect back up. But yeah, it was 20 under and there was a group atop and Akshay certainly wasn't making a charge. So you got to come up with something to show, and thank God Chef was on fire. But Sam Burns was making his run there on his way up the leaderboard too, which middle of the round he got hot, and then kind of just couldn't kind of plug along. To your point, might need to make a putt or two, but had a ton of guys who were still in the mix, and in our group chat was certainly trying to figure out who was going to win the golf tournament, and I'm not sure that it was, even though it was a Saturday to remember for Morikawa, that we knew that he was going to come up and get it done. So certainly shout out to him and his wife. Obviously, they're having their new baby here soon. They took the chance to announce it to the world, and just makes it even more of a special event when you can win them in your home state and tell everybody you're having a baby. So I'm sure it's super near and dear to their hearts. And something they're going to cherish forever, being able to have that moment on the 18th green, moving into what is a new chapter of life for sure for them. The other thing about Pebble, I think we all do love, and this will be a little bit of an ode to Jim Nance because I'm not sure how much longer we have Jim on the broadcast. It didn't seem like we really had a good amount of him last week. He certainly sounded a little bit raspy. We already know he's withdrawn from March Madness for a couple of years now. I think Augusta is always going to be near and dear to his heart. But you wonder how much time in the booth the guy's got left. And if it is one of his last couple seasons here, it's always fun to hear him call Pebble. It's always fun to hear him talk about his home place and kind of bring in some of that local flavor about what's going on that week and things. And I whenever Nance does leave Pebble, it'll be super tough to not hear his voice on his home course. And I think that's one of the cool things about golf the last 10 years is Nance has allowed us to come in his house and show us his area. And he loves Carmel and all Carmel by the Sea or whatever, I'm calling that incorrectly. Excuse me, but he loves that. And it was certainly a great Sunday to hear him call off finals. So
welcome to Carmel.
Carmel. Is it caramel? I mean, I knew I was a Southern boy, California.
Carmel. That's funny. Carmel.
Excuse me. Carmel by the Sea. What are you gonna do? So, just a good week out there at Pebble. Just a lot of fun. So, and I'll tell you the other thing too. I'm super stoked about. Panda got a little power issue.
Okay.
But I'm stoked that the rib is back this year. Speaking of power back on.
Does it look like I'm under the sun right now? Can you hear me?
You're in the twilight zone right now, partner. What happened to the light? You just got super bright.
If that's the camera. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But okay, good. But anyway, so I don't know what I missed, but it sounded good.
Yeah, not much. I think the best thing about going from Pebble after this week is going back to the Riv.
Yeah,
I love the Riv, bro. You ever been there?
Yeah, got to play there a couple times. It's awesome. It is.
Is it?
It's the easiest first hole you'll ever play, followed by the hardest second hole you'll ever play. It's like birdie is so easy to make on one, and then you get to know, and then the rest of the golf course is really hard. But it is awesome right in Beverly Hills. I mean, it is pretty special. LA, special place. Got some amazing golf. So yeah, looking forward to Riv, and we'll be ready to cover that all next week. Wanted to jump into just a little. I know we've talked a lot about a Gasparilla kind of each episode, but it is finally here. I'm actually
yes, sir. Mid-am golf season is upon
golf
us.
season is upon us. I'm headed to Tampa tomorrow. And it's as a true Floridian, someone that lives not too far. It's a tournament. It's just really, really special, and honestly, just each year keeps getting bigger and bigger. The Monday qualifier was today.
Oh yeah, I got some great scores from that.
Shout out to the 4 guys that made it. Yeah, actually, one of the guys that made it, I think I played with a couple years ago, or was it last year? I might have played with him last year, named Andrew Morris. And I think last year he crushed it in the qualifier, and then was playing with me on the last day, so he couldn't have been playing that good because I was even par, I think. But what do you?
Well, we have a repeat of the qualifier.
We fired like 64 or something.
63.
Man, that's brutal to do on a Monday, though. But hey, you're in the tournament.
You never want to win the Tuesday money game, do you?
Well, you want to. You know what? I shouldn't say that. The goal to qualify is to qualify. Would he have liked to shoot 69? But that wouldn't have got him in. So,
right.
It was. It was kind of overcast here today. It's going to be warm.
I was going to say, what was the weather like down there?
It wasn't as warm as I thought it was going to be today. I mean, I'm wearing a hoodie. It was in the mid 80s on Sunday, but big storm came through last night. Tornado was supposed to hit a cold front for us. Doubt it got all the way to Tampa.
71.
Yeah, well, 58 in the morning.
Oh, crispy and cool.
Chilly slippers season.
QZ weather.
But as far as getting into Gasparilla, I'm sure you have the roster up now that the Monday qualifier is over. I know for a fact I'm teeing off now. I'm teeing off number 10 with Mike Fenster and Charles Fitzsimmons. Mike won in 2019, and Charles from Canada never met. I think I sent him a congratulations note the year he won a couple years ago, and so I'm looking forward to that. Some great groups. And, again, just kind of want to go into what makes this course so cool, what makes this whole tournament and experience just one that everybody looks forward to. And, we talk about the PGA Tour and these live guys and the life they live, no pun intended, and lead. And, for those that don't know, the Gasparilla Invitational is as close as you could get to probably what it feels like to not only play in a PGA Tour event, but to play in like a major.
I was going to say that's my playing in a PGA Tour event is an understatement.
Yeah, I agree.
I think so. I think you could even look down the list, and we could talk to a number of past players who probably have previous playing experience, who are at that college level and maybe dabbled in the like yourself. This is way better than a PGA Tour.
Yeah, no, it is for a lot of reasons. One, none of us, you don't make any money. Clearly, that's why we're amateurs,
right?
So that obviously that pressure is not quite there, but it's I think that the just the open arms as soon as you get there. I mean, I had four members text me over the weekend. When are you here yet? And I'm like, well, no, I'm going to be there Tuesday. Right. I'd love to be there on Sunday, but I got a few things to take care of.
Yeah, a few tidying up first,
and
maybe a few.
I don't know. I probably should, and one of these days I'll get Nick Macario on here. Nick is probably the expert on like Wagger and rankings and all this, that, and the other, and he is has come really close to winning this tournament like 3 or 4 times. He's a hell of a player in any golf course, but he certainly plays well here. He really knows about how all this stuff works with rankings and what tournaments you need to play in to get ranked. I don't know how that works. But
Once we get more into the spring, we're definitely going to break down what is high level mid am golf, and we're going to talk more about what tournaments coming up this summer that
Yeah,
matter in
yeah.
those type of deals. And
Why?
once we talk
I
about, I'm
guess
sure
where I was
we'll
going, because I was kind of babbling. I probably said the word ranking like 30 times. The reputation of this tournament, whatever the ranking is, that it's one of those signs, right? Greater than. But I don't know. I don't know if
right.
there's a tournament. If you're ranking tournaments based on reputation and tournaments that you want to win that don't start USGA, that you can
Sure.
that you can get in without having to know a member. This is it, because there's some tournaments
Right.
at some pretty special places that you might never ever get in, no matter what you win. And there's people that like,
That you've never even heard of.
yeah, and there's people that shouldn't. Well, I shouldn't say. There's people that are playing in those tournaments that are nearly as good as a bunch of guys that don't get invited. Um, I'm not going to get into that in those events. There are a few that I was shocked that after some of the success I had that I didn't get invited to. I was on the East-West team, which was the 12 best players, so to speak, left of the Mississippi versus right. I was on that team and still didn't make certain things. So some of those
Yep.
things, okay, so that's fine. And those are their tournaments and they're allowed to do that. But this tournament, yes, you
Yep.
have to get invited, but they openly have a qualifier if you want to play in it. And that was today.
And they do a good job on the website. I was looking to our pre-show production. They tell you how to get there. I mean, club did a great job this year. Be like, you want to know how to get there? Win this tournament. Do this. Finish here. It's real simple. All you got to do is play well, and we'll find you. Which is what I love about Gasparilla.
And you know what? That's really, really on point, because they promote, the Valentine Invitational, the Snedeker, the
Right.
Giles, I mean, there's so many now tournaments out there that, and it goes down to who's running this tournament. I mean, Kevin and his crew, the board. I mean, it's unbelievable. Again, for those that have never been, it's just hard to put into words. And then for the guys that have never played, hopefully there's someone on their way to play this tournament for the first time that's listening to this show.
Right.
And, all I can say is take it all in, have lunch there, stay late. Even if you don't like to drink, hang out, you'll meet people. And if you're playing in this tournament, these members want to talk to you, and they probably want to know a little bit about you, because they know one thing.
1000%.
They know one thing: you're good. Because if you're here, I mean,
you can play.
And
And by the way, I don't care who you are this week. If you're in this tournament and if you're a spectator and you see anybody playing it and a guy shoots whatever, doesn't matter. Everybody does it. We've all done it. If you're a good player, if you've been in a tournament, these guys who are playing this week, they all deserve to be here and they all belong here. So, shout out if you did make it one day. And maybe I can join you guys in that field, and I'll tee up a ball here sometime in 26. But yeah, as a fan, I'm going. And I've got friends who live in the neighborhood. I'm looking forward to seeing an old high school teammate of mine down there who does a bunch of work and lives in Palmacia. And we joke about it all the time. Why haven't we seen each other? But told him I'm coming down to watch some friends, and we're gonna do some cool stuff, hopefully for the show. But that just goes to show you the community that Palmacia is too. It's not just the golf tournament. This is a coming together. This is certainly a good time, and it's not just about all the players. It can be about family. It is about family. It is about friends and having people there who you love, because that's what golf's all about. You don't want to win or be around it, right?
I mean,
with nobody there.
Yes, this tournament. I'm playing with some dudes tomorrow I haven't seen in a while. It's gonna be great to see that. I mean, you can be hugging it out. I mean, Jamie Miller is
Shout out to Mike Finster, by the way. Mike Finster is one of the funniest dudes I've ever met.
Mike is a legend. Mike is the man.
Got a chance to play at Southern Hills with him in a final group, and while he did get the best of me there as well, it was fun.
The boy is good. And Mike Finster is once again my host. The year I won. This is what a great guy Mike Finster is. Well, I'm going to tell you. There's two stories I want to tell about Gasparilla. I wasn't planning on telling this one, but I'm going to tell this one because I love Mike. In 2021, Mike Finster had invited, I don't know, 17 different people to stay at his house. And I
Fat
was one
week.
of them. And when I got there, he was like, "Oh, buddy, I forgot Paul Simpson's staying with us." And, you know, for those that have met Paul Simpson, I mean, the guy's 60 years old. He's about 5'1". And I'm like, well, I'm not going to make this guy sleep on the couch. I was like, Finney, I'll just sleep on the couch. No big deal. Are you sure? Oh, yeah, no problem. Well, I proceeded to shoot 64 first round. So I was like, okay, well, this couch is working. Next night, I'm like, I'm asleep here again. And the funniest part is Chris Solomon from No Laying Up and his, I don't know who he is. Like, I don't want to say his producer because I don't know what he is. But another guy there that's not on the show, but like with camera, they were also staying at Finster's house and they wanted to do this interview with Paul. And Paul loves Italian red wine. So we were having Italian red wine. We go buy all this food, all these steaks, and we're about to cook. And Mike's like, "Oh my gosh, I totally forgot. It's Lent. I can't eat any meat."
No,
So we're
that's not where I thought
so we're
that was
eating
going
all the,
from.
you know, we got all, Mike goes and buys, because he's the greatest guy ever, just goes and buys all these steaks. I'll still cook them, bubs. Don't worry about it. So we're having steak. We're, you know, just having a great time. And you know, I'm the second day that year was, the afternoon was just evil cold and rain. I mean, it was, you know, Tug shot 70 that day. I shot 71. And I felt like I picked up like 8 shots on the field. So I was tired. It was cold. It was wet, you know, drying off, hop in the hot tub at Mike's house and just laying on the couch and just listening to Simpson just tell these stories. And what's funny is that whole just laying there on the couch, not necessarily tired, but certainly rested, feet up, rested my body. I felt confident, obviously, going in the final day, but just kind of listen to Paul chat and everybody laugh at his stories. You know,
Put you
yeah,
right
put
in the
me kind of in
zone.
the zone. I woke up, everybody, you know, I was in the final group and everybody else wasn't. So they all left earlier than me. And I was just kind of hanging out at Finney's house and just drove over. But, so
You going back to the couch this
well,
year?
he says I have a room because his kids
Oh,
keep
wow.
getting older and moving out or going to college.
Upgrade season.
So I'll take a room. But yeah, looking forward to that. Paired with him in the first day and really excited. And he's, again, just an absolute legend. Numerous U.S. senior opens and amateurs, and just as good as he is as a player, he's even a better person. Just salt of the earth family, his kids, his wife's just a saint. I mean, just unbelievable. So, yeah, that's about it. So a few players in the field this year that I guess would be your, you know, your players to watch. If I'm going to give out some watch ideas, you know, the back of the range in Gasparilla did some really funny pirate themed AI stuff on their Instagram page and had some funny pictures. I appreciated the one, yeah,
And the
the
pirate.
pirate. I had a hook. But the guys that, you know, the guys they posted, obviously guys like Nick Macario, always a player to watch. Will Davenport, even though he just got married and is still in Hawaii, but usually you play really good right after you get married. So look out for Will.
Carefree.
You know, Matt Parziali, 2017 U.S. Mid-Amateur champion. He is back and playing some excellent golf. One of my best buds. Cannot wait to see him. You got guys like Scott Turner, defending champion, solid as a rock.
Best wedge player in Florida. Amateur.
Well,
maybe?
he's really good. I wanted to tell, you know, again, we'll just have to get into this whenever I really tried to get Will Davenport on the show, and he was actually very gracious in Hawaii on his honeymoon. I just had some stuff on Saturday with family, and that we weren't able to fill in the time. But I really wanted to talk with Will about that final round because he was right in the hunt. And yeah, Scott just played solid all the way. I'm actually playing a practice round with Scott, Haim Snedeker, and Richard Douglas on Wednesday. So I'm looking forward to that too, because this tournament, you know, especially for me, been around and a little bit well known now, I guess.
Chipper, tell me what the practice round game is out there for a group like that. Go ahead and dive into that. What do we got going on a Wednesday? Or excuse me, on a Tuesday.
Well, tomorrow's a Tuesday. It's a scramble. So tomorrow's probably, I guess it depends on who you're with. I know I'm with one of my boys, Gabler. I don't know. I don't know if I know who the other two guys are, so I don't know if they're gonna be like they just kind of want to play. I think a fun practice round game is just like have a birdie game because you're playing a practice round, it's a scramble. It's not like you're out there hitting multiple shots. So it's kind of like play, maybe some side action. Now on Wednesday with Richard Douglas and Hames and Scott, I know that our group chat there was a lot of talk about strokes and stuff. So we'll see. Old Dickie Douglas from Birmingham, Alabama, trying to get some strokes, but can't wait to see him. And that's the thing, man. I just look so forward to seeing all these guys. Jamie Miller from Buffalo, New York, just an absolute legend. I can guarantee.
Who's coming the farthest this year? What's typically? I know we got some Canadians,
yeah,
right?
I mean,
like
Charles
said,
is. There's Canadians. There's a couple Jamaicans last year, but Jamie's coming from Buffalo. With Sean Baker, Oak Hill. Well, Jamie's at Craigburn in Buffalo, and then Sean is at Oak Hill in Rochester, and that place is so good. So look forward to seeing all those guys. I mean, just a cool bunch of people, and again, God bless golf. Is what we talk about all the time. It's tournaments like these. Yes, I'm very fortunate that I've been able to play in these, and very fortunate I have the ability to play well enough to get into this and all that stuff. And yes, there's a lot of factors that go into that, but just the people you meet that you would not meet if you played pickup basketball. It's just, it's just something about this game. And, to have the humility as well as go out there and play well. When you're around other guys that do that same way, you become friends and see those guys. Hayes Brown from Atlanta will be here. That guy can play. Look out for him. Bland Farmer, he's always around. I don't
qualified for the year for my first Florida football.
Yeah. I mean, there's some guys.
Great player.
The Monday again, 300 a day or 200 a day gets you first alternate to the qualifier for GASPARILLA. Now, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to give everybody a little breakdown and of how this works, and then we're going to move into the rapid fire and wrap this show up. Thank you for those that have been listening. I know we've kind of extended it, but we had some things we felt like we needed to talk about that were pretty important moments. So that's where we're at, and then we're just having some fun stuff. Excuse me, talking about that. But what happens on Tuesday is you will see a course that you will never see again for the rest of the week. And I think it's important to, keep score relatively. If you're hitting it well, kind of play. Obviously, there's people putting. It's practice round.
What's the truth to the practice round pins? Sorry to interrupt, but I've heard rumors that the practice round pins are extra dicey.
The pins, I just remember just don't pay attention to where the pins are. Cause like, I know for a fact that now I know they've redone these greens, but like, I know that the back right and back left pins at 5, for example, I know they're going to be there. Like, and I would think that for a Tuesday practice round, they're going to they'll make it'll be fairly tame. I know that the golf course should be absolutely perfect. The way the weather has worked out this year, I'm sure. I mean, the crew there, everything they do. Everything they do. Yeah. I mean, really, I could call this show I Love Paul Messia and GASPARILLA and just do a show every week about all of the things. So for those that are like, dude, are there other tournaments? Yes, there are. And yes, I'm privy to this, but you know what? This is my show. So that's what I'm talking about. So you don't like.
There are other tournaments, but even as the co-host and the guys never played in it, let me tell you something. I've been around mid-amateur golf basically as a caddy for about a decade now, and I've had a chance to ride some coattails of two really cool players and see some things. Thank you for that and those experiences, partner. These guys are really, really good, and this is going to be a great week of golf. So, with all due respect, this is our kind of our mid-am spring Masters, winter
Fifth
Masters,
major.
Fifth major. There we go. Perfect.
Shove that up, Brendel. All right. So as we conclude and move on to a little bit funnier part of the show, the Fairway Confessional, as we like to talk, or excuse me, as we like to call it. Rapid fire, fast fun, a little bit ridiculous. Richie Spice, I'm going to ask you some questions. Give me your best honest answer as quickly as you can. Number one.
Here we go.
Best golf swing you've ever seen in person.
Tiger Woods, 1999 Bell South Classic, 18th hole, 321 down the hill. No doubt.
That's tough to beat there. Worst first tee anxiety story.
Oh gosh. Hooters Tour event, 2010. And somehow I qualified for the long drive contest by the privy of the fact that I played back-to-back weeks and whatever. I don't think I felt my hands at the club face. The ball went high and relatively straight, 10 yards off the fairway to the right, non-qualifier. But it did go over 310 yards, so I'm proud of that. But I didn't even know what I was to do. I didn't know what to do. All right. I've duck hooked plenty. I've topped them. I've sliced them. I was never that nervous as I was sitting over that long.
A golfer that you would never gamble against.
Living or dead?
Just pick one.
Mark Dole.
Smart.
He knows the truth.
Yeah, that's the truth. You know what I love about Mark? This is what I love about Mark. Mark could be up like 9 ways. Okay.
No.
And if you birdie and then you birdie 18 and get like 7 of those ways back, that's almost better than beating him. It drives him crazy because he wants to win 16 ways. He's not happy with 9. And man, we did that at Canoe Brook when I birdied 18, and I wasn't down 9. Well, he ended up losing money on the back. Oh my God, he was so pissed. But yeah, as far as guys you don't want to gamble with, that's a good one. Stay away. Sorry, Mark, if this is costing you, but guys, if you think you can beat him, you can't.
No.
Hardest course mentally that you've ever played. Like just I mean, it's easy, right?
Oh, you're gonna
okay.
No, you're gonna love this answer. Anytime I play with you,
okay.
I mean,
interesting.
I have 2 people who I have a hard time playing against, and it's you and Mark Dole. Anybody else, I could probably go play against some PGA Tour guy and have more confidence. But the amount of golf that we have played, and I'll even bring it down even closer. I think the most in the golf course itself is probably Heathrow. There's so many places that I cannot hit that golf ball. And it's just, it really is like going on somebody's going on your home track, coming to try to play you. Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying like if you and I play mentally, you're at a disadvantage.
I mean, you've seen me play in the small snippet of professional golf, and you know what you can do with me as a talent.
Right.
You've seen it. You've proven yourself as a caddy. I've never shot those kind of numbers. So let's just be honest. It's a demon I've got to overcome. I mean, when's the last time I beat you?
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't remember, to be honest. I know it happened one time. I remember.
I get so nervous playing against you for some reason.
Somebody told me that the other day. Like, dude, you ever notice that people leave after 9 when you do some of the BS? And I'm like, I never thought about that. I don't know. And now I'm not gonna have a complex because that's funny. That's a funny answer. I was not expecting. I thought for sure you'd been like Pine Valley, but that's no, that's funny. That's hilarious. All right, one final question. Mulligans in life, yes or no?
However many you need. There's never a wrong time to re-tee. I don't care who you are, where you're at, or what you're doing. You can always say, you know what? I'm going to stand right here, and I'm going to hit the same shot one more time. And anytime anybody who doesn't believe that, call me, DM us. I'll be glad to chat with you. Coaching is one of my favorite pastimes, but at the end of the day, you can always hit another one. You can always take it unplayable.
Yeah, and that's a great answer. And we're like I said, we're wrapping up. This has been a long show today, but obviously we have that connection as girl dads, as dads, fathers. Obviously, seeing Anthony's daughter run, I don't even know her name, and it doesn't even matter. Seeing her run up to him,
so cute.
And the thing about kids, at all ages, they just want you to be there. You know what I mean? It's not about like do you have the answer to everything? No, but I'm just there, right? And having that, seeing that joy that Anthony has. I mean, I tell everybody the day Addison was born, I know that was a life-changing moment for me, just because it was like, okay, I'm really responsible for this. And we talk about golf and life and all these similarities to it, and parenting's the same way, and mulligans don't exist with kids, but forgiveness does. I mean, no kid is going to not forgive their mom or their dad. We're all going to make mistakes. We don't have somebody telling us if we're doing it right. We're just trying to do it, playing the ball as it lies, as you might say. In some situations, you don't deserve. Okay, you just don't. And sometimes life isn't fair, and sometimes you only get the short end of the stick, and that's the only end you get, and that's just the way it is. And you know what? Life works in funny ways. The greatest line I've ever heard about golf is the ball always knows what you're thinking. And, you have that mentality, your kids, and again, this is coming back into this whole Anthony Kim thing, because that was something that just really, really moved us a lot. It's just, he is a great example of what's possible when you think your life isn't worth anything. Okay. I don't know what he went through to deal with all that other stuff. I've heard stories he couldn't even see, right? Like, I mean, just crazy things that I think, whether it's his own fault or not, okay, he knows the answer to that. He don't need us to tell him that. We don't, I don't need somebody walking around. It's kind of like we were joking the other day about like asking Scotty Scheffler stupid questions about hitting bad chip shots. Like, life gets in the way of some stuff a lot. And see this guy break through that and make it to where he is and win that tournament. I don't know if we lost Richie or not, but anyway, just can't say enough, and just can't thank you folks enough for listening. All of those, smash the subscribe button. We are getting this show out hopefully on Apple, on YouTube. It's already on Spotify. We're going to have clips on Instagram. We're just trying to do as much as we can to get this show out. Again, we don't even really know what it is. We just enjoy talking, and hopefully our message is getting to some folks out there. Send us feedback, send us questions. We'll read a question on the show. If you have any ideas for rapid fire. And again, we'll have hopefully some fun posts before I tee off. I tee off Thursday morning, 8 o'clock, hole number 10 with Mike Finster and Charles. So we'll have some more stuff. Maybe some yes or no, or not yes or no. What are they called? The polls, some poll questions, and some other things on social media to kind of fire it up for the week. And like I always say, it's never as good as you think. It's never as bad as you think. You just keep hitting it straight. And if you don't hit it straight, just walk straight. God bless golf. We'll see you next week.